Hi everyone, it's Dr. Jackie, and I am back to talk to you about Module 1, Week 1 assignments. But first, let me talk to you about a couple of things that are important. Number one, as a Central Washington student, you have free access to Microsoft Office 365 and or Office 2013. You can obtain those things by following this link that's here, or you can download the Office 2013 via DreamSpark. So there are instructions in the introduction module on how to download Microsoft Project from DreamWorks or DreamSpark, pardon me, and you can get that information. Let me know if you have any trouble, and I'll point you in the right direction as to who you can contact. You also need to get Microsoft Project, and you should be getting that now. If you are not going to obtain Microsoft Project on your own, you can use the labs. Please be aware that not all labs have Microsoft Project 2013. That's important. Also, if you have a Mac, you cannot run Microsoft Project at all. You have to obtain, unless you're doing a dual boot, kind of a boot camp type thing. There are some instructions on how you can obtain, how you can do that. But otherwise, Microsoft Project doesn't run on a Mac natively. So that's something to remember. And again, you can use Microsoft Project from our labs. But my point is, don't wait. Get this now so that you have access to it now, and you'll know why here at the end of my discussion. So hang in there. Okay, so for your discussion question this week, we want to be sure that you understand what a project is and what ongoing operations are. So you're going to research on the internet, and you're going to find an example of an information technology project. And if your student ID ends in an even number, I want you to go out and find an example of an information technology project that was a success, that managed to be successfully completed. If your student ID ends in an odd number, find an example of a information technology project that failed miserably. Well, okay, not failed miserably necessarily, but just simply failed. You're going to describe the project. You're going to provide an adequate amount of background information so that your reader knows what the project is all about, and also include the URL so your reader can go out and read the information themselves as well. What factors influenced the success of the project? What could the project manager, project team, or the organization have done differently to assure a different outcome? Now, if it was successful, um, you sometimes there are degrees of success, right? So I'm not looking for you to say, well, they could have done this, this, and this if they wanted the project to fail. That's not what I'm looking for. If it failed, finding success, things that could have been done differently might be a little easier. But if it was successful, are there things that could have been still done better? Base your responses on the information that you read in the textbook. You'll find a lot of good information on successful project management from the textbook. So you'll be able to get some good examples, and remember to always cite your sources properly. You're also going to reply using the 2x2 rule. Your initial response is due no later than Thursday. I'm asking you to reply to 2 peer responses using the 2x2 rule no later than Saturday. And what is the 2x2 rule? So you're going to respond to the initial discussion question, and that is going to be worth 50% of your grade relating to the discussion points. Okay, so 50% is your initial response. 50% is your peer responses using the 2x2 rule. So when you're talking about the 2x2 rule, what I want you to do when you're responding to a peer post, somebody in your classmate, one of your classmates' posts, you're going to look for 2 positive things that you agree with. You're going to find 2 things you disagree with. I don't want to say negative, but you're going to find 2 things where you may have a different opinion about. So you're going to indicate your positive thoughts with a plus. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put a plus sign, and then you're going to make your comment about what you agree on, and then another plus sign and what you agree on. And I want you to be really clear why you agree on it, not just what you agree, but why you agree. What was it that was said that made you agree with the response? Now, for the two negative, you're going to put a minus sign, and then you're going to indicate what it was that you may have disagreed with, and again, why. And when you're disagreeing, include evidence to support your reason for disagreement. Not just I think you're wrong, but why you believe that. Now that can include something from the textbook, something from additional research, maybe on the internet, or maybe from a personal experience. So you're going to want to support your positive and your negative, or your agreement or your disagreement comments. So you're going to have two plus symbols with comments and two minus symbols, or two dashes, right? Two minus symbols with comments. Posts that are simply I agree or great job will not count, and there is a grading rubric for you to look at that should help. So your individual assignment, go to the end of chapter 1 and you'll find a quick thinking involving the user. And you're going to want to review that and then answer the two questions that are there. You're going to want to put together a one-page response, a quick one-page paper following APA format. And remember, APA format, double spaced, right? So it shouldn't be too terribly hard to write it up. Make sure you use the textbook as a reference. Why do I say that? Because I want you to support what you are saying. Answer the questions with support from the textbook. Make sure you follow APA format and cite those sources properly. This paper is due on Sunday. Don't forget you have a quiz that's due on Sunday. Quizzes cannot be made up, and discussion questions cannot be made up. And then finally, here's where that Microsoft Project download install comes in handy. You have an opportunity to earn some extra credit. You can earn up to 10 extra credit points that would be applied to your assignment pool of points by completing the Microsoft tutorials that are in the textbook. Your author of the textbook has put together some great tutorials for you. Now, this week, we're going to do tutorial 1 for extra credit. So if you decide you want to do that, follow through, complete the tutorial, and then submit it to the appropriate link. You're going to be submitting your completed Microsoft project file for consideration. And again, I can award up to 10 extra credit points for this. You should find that there is an extra credit assignment in week 2, and I believe there's an extra credit assignment in week 3. The late policies will apply to these extra credit assignments. You'll have up to 3 days, and I will deduct points for late submission. But after 3 days, the extra credit assignments will disappear. Those opportunities will, in fact, go away. So that was all I had for you, and I look forward to seeing you in the discussions this week. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.